Now we should also talk about your legendary arm because it was phenomenal, and in the first, I suppose, decade that I was associated with Preston, I was a wicketkeeper and used to be on the receiving end of those rockets that were sort of coming in from cover point or third man or wherever it was. It used to be quite funny when the batsman called for a third run when you were throwing in from the boundary. What used to go through your mind when you picked the ball up and you heard the call?
The guy's out. Just got to get it there, he's out.
Yeah.
Flat, hard.
Flat, hard, yeah. I was telling some of the boys recently, your throws actually used to plane up a little bit.
Yeah. I remember one down at Frankston, we playing a final against Camp White, and I was out at picked the ball up at a point, the blokes turned around to run for the third, and I've hit the stumps.
Side on?
Side on, which was a fluke. But we just had a great side.
Yeah.
As you said before earlier on, we're some guys that really played baseball. You had to have a good arm to get a game, and it meant a lot.
Yes.
Catch the ball, throw the ball.
I think the other thing that we did, and I don't want this to sound as though we're harking back into the old days, but we used to save 15, 20 runs in the field every week, and our running between wickets, present company excluded, but we used to make up about 15 runs. So we're actually, 30 to 40 runs better off all the time. 30 or 40 runs, which the other side had to get. So it was pretty good. You didn't get run out too often, though.
No, not really.
No.
Because I didn't run.
Exactly.
I'd turn threes into ones.
Right.
As I got older, I just turned fours into ones. Just wouldn't run.
Did you hit many sixes? Were you a six man?
Yeah, hit a few.
Hit a few?
Busted the windows of Chris Park.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you break a windscreen or two?
I don't think I ever broke a windscreen.
No.
I remember Chris Park was a good one.
Right, okay. And at Preston, did you... The grandstand was a bit...
The grandstand was good when you had the wicket on one side. You could easily hit the ball for six.
Yeah, yeah. Did you land in the grandstand?
I hit one over the grandstand in a final.
Really?
Against Williamstown.
Gee whiz.
Onto the railway line.
Okay, yeah.
I remember that. But I pitched one short and we're on the closest wicket to the grandstand and
bang.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Lost ball.
Lost ball. No one was going on the line. Or it could have finished up at Flinders Street.
Could have. Just jumped on the train.
Yeah. Now, at what age did you actually give cricket away?
I gave it away at, I think it was 1991.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got to the era where the end and had lost interest.
Yep.
When you lose interest in training and that, it's not worth playing on. So I stopped in 1991. Then Brett said to me, I want to go and play cricket at Preston. Will you take me down? I said, well, I'll still know a few guys there.
Yeah.
Dave Robbie, and said, my son wants to come down and play at Preston. He said, well, what about you playing as well? Well, I sort of looked at him. That's a good idea, playing with your son.
Yeah.
Which was an absolute highlight.
Fantastic.
And to win that flag was just bonus. Absolute bonus. I'll never forget it.
Mm. How many flags did you win?
5.
5, yeah.
2 on the twos.
Yeah.
1980-81.
Under Mike Ryan.
Yeah. 89-90.
Mm-hmm.
Then 2000-2001, which was the 4th.
Yeah.
2007-2008 was against Kew, who were in the thirds. They were the super side to beat. We beat them. Then 2010-2011 against Plenty Valley.
Right.
No fourth.
Okay.
I can tell you a story there too.
Tell us.
We were 9 for 103.
Yeah.
Brian Flanagan came out about good old Buff.
Mm-hmm.
Now Buff was real honest. He couldn't make a run.
Right.
I said, Buff, we got 20 overs to bat. It's a grand final. We don't want to let them. We've got to bat the overs out. If we bat the overs out, we'll win the game.
Yeah.
And I said, Boof, now if the ball's off the stumps, just leave it.
Right.
Ball's on the stumps, just play straight back.
Yeah.
He worked out, we ended up getting, I went out, no, I was not out, we ended up making 165, we put on 62.
Fair effort.
For the last wicket.
Yeah. So that then gave you a defendable.
Yeah, well, we were struggling. They were cruising, they were 4 for 113 or something, and we pulled a few strings out of the bag after tea and rolled them.
Sensational. Tell me about rolling. Did you ever bowl? I can't remember.
Oh, yeah, definitely when I was captain of the threes and fours, I had a bowl.
Did you? What did you bowl?
Big banana in-swingers.
Big banana in-swingers. Okay. Slow mediums?
Very slow medium. Wasn't much pace for me.
Yeah.
Because I always thought I could bowl, but never got the chance.
Yeah.
I can see why.
Yeah. Yeah. Brett, you played 75 games, I think, for the club, thereabouts.
Okay, yeah.
So that was over about 6-7 seasons?
Yeah, I think I essentially played a season in each 11.
Yeah.
With, I think, the end of my third season, I played the last few games in the twos.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was twos after that. And then I played 2 seasons in the ones and then ended up down at Melbourne Uni.
Yeah. How many seasons did you have at Melbourne Uni?
Just the one.
Just the one? Played in the twos?
In the seconds, yeah.
Yeah. How did you find the jump?
It's astronomical, really.
Mm-hmm.
There are a few sides whose second 11s were probably, who had a really good first 11, their second 11 was pretty weak.
Mm-hmm.
But there are other sides where their second 11 was really strong.
Yep.
And all the wickets were really, really flat. So you really had to work hard
Mm-hmm.
for your wickets. Obviously, if you had the ability to swing the ball, you had a bit more of a chance. But it was all about hitting that consistent line and length.
Yep.
And obviously, the other jump as well was because it was sub-district cricket, you only bowled 80 overs.
Mm-hmm.
Premier twos and ones, you bowl a minimum 90. Some
Yep.
days you could bowl 100, 120 overs.
Yep.
Obviously, you get a new ball, but you had to be disciplined, and that's what set apart. That's
Yep.
That's what sets apart the good bowlers from the great bowlers. It's just that consistency to just keep hitting that length time after time.
Mm-hmm. And you enjoyed your stay there?
I did. It was a bit different. Just sort of the atmosphere's a bit different in that, because that's essentially, I suppose, the VFL of cricket, if you will. It's sort of dog eat dog, everyone for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So, everyone wants to perform with the bat or the ball, but at the end of the day, coming through Preston, I was all about, you want to sing the song afterwards and have beers with your mates and sharing that celebration, whereas Premier Cricket's a little bit different like that. And that was, I suppose that was the best thing about Preston was, if the first didn't win but the second and thirds won, you sort of shared in that.
Yep.
So.
And what did you do after uni? Did you give the game away?
Yeah, I funny because I went to Melbourne Uni because at the time I went to TAFE with Jared Leggett, who was an opening batsman in the first 11. We went to TAFE together. My best man at my wedding, Stephen Murcott, he played all his cricket at Thomastown United.
Mm-hmm.
And I essentially promised him once I'd finish I'd go back and play a season there. So I played one season with Thomastown United when I finished, which I think was 2007, 2008 or something like that.
Yeah. And is there a comeback like that?
I don't know. I've got a 4-year-old son who's, craving all my attention at the moment. He's, it takes a lot out of you. He's constantly on the go, so I don't really have a lot of spare time. But you never say never. I suppose you're a long time retired.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah. Still got all my old gear there, so I'll never say never. But for the meantime, I'm happy retired.
Happy retired.
Yeah, I don't like fielding in 40-degree heat for 80 overs. Those days are past.
There we go. Wayne, you were a draftsman as a young guy, involved in the construction industry. You then moved into your own business.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Ended up buying a tax lotto agency.
Right.
Always wanted to own something, either a licensed bottle shop
Yep.
or a tax lotto agency.
Yeah.
The option came up because I got retrenched. Didn't know what I was going to do.
Mhm.
40 odd, public servant, no one wants to employ you because you've got that tag of being a public servant.
Yep.
So we end up buying a cleaning business franchise. Lasted about a year and a half just to learn how to run a business properly and all that. Then we got rid of that, and the option came up to buy a tax lotto agency.
Right.
And I just jumped at it.
Okay. Because they were pretty valuable.
Very valuable.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Sort of looked at one at Whittlesea. The guy wouldn't budge his price, and I said, there's just a tax lotto agency, just straight tax lotto. And Sunbury, where's Sunbury? Went out and had a look at it. As soon as I saw the shop, that was it.
Right.
We put a bid in, we undercut the bloke a fair bit because he wanted out.
Yeah.
It lasted for 13 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Sold at a good profit.
Fantastic. And so then you sort of, you're still young enough, so you're
Tried to retire.
Yeah.
I was 55.
55, bit hard.
Yeah, just lasted about 4 months, and I thought, I need a job.
Yeah.
I'm too young to retire.
Is that what Christine told you, or you decided that yourself?
Yes, sort of half and half. I just wanted a part-time job, and I got a part-time job with Metro Trains.
Yeah.
I've been there ever since.
Oh, right.
11 years.
Gee whiz. Yeah. So what's the role there?
Control room and booking office.
Okay.
So you do a bit of both.
Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah.
You see some sights.
I can imagine.
Tell some stories.
The clientele are pretty good?
Some are, some aren't. In the old days, Broader used to be, because I was stationed at Broadmeadows.
Right.
That was the ends of the earth. No one wanted to work there. I said,
Yeah.
I'll work there. You find dead bodies in the back of shops and all that. I said, no, I'll work there. It was bad first up,
Yeah.
but now they've all moved out to Coolaroo, Roxy Park,
Okay.
Green.
Mm.
And Broader's becoming a real trendy area, actually, with all the new houses they're building around, the units.
Mm. It's amazing.
Just the PSOs make a big difference.
Yes. Okay. Cleaned it right up.
Cleaned it right up.
Yeah. Yeah. How old are you now?
66.
66. Doing well. No talk of retirement. Or you're just going to keep going?
Just going to keep going
Yeah.
while you can.
Yep. You
Like to
fit?
stay active. Pretty fit, yeah.
Yeah. Health is good.
Health's not bad.
Yeah.
Could be a bit better, but it's what it is.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. What about you, Brett? What do you do?
I work for Grey and Race Victoria.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
That's a big career, expanding career.
Yeah, so I previous to that I was working at RSN 927 as a producer there for their racing shows, and later on as the Saturday morning host. And yeah, the company, the station just went through a big change in 2016, sort of a different vision, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of uncertainty around with the launching of racing.com, whether there was going to be a takeover and things like that. And yeah, the advantage I had was working there. I sort of had a few connections with, obviously the thoroughbreds, greyhounds and the harness, and yeah, position came up with GRV and jumped at it. So, and yeah, I am some 7 years later.
And how's the greyhound industry going?
It's thriving at the moment.
Yeah.
I came on at the end of live baiting,
Mm-hmm.
and when I came on, initially I was put on because they only had one grader at the time, and they were grading 20 meetings a week.
Gee.
That went straight to 23, and now we're at 26. Okay. So, and during COVID, the turnover, not just our code, the other two codes just went through the roof because casinos were shut, pokies were shut.
Yeah.
Anywhere there was a gap in the schedule, there was a race meeting popping up. So we've been more than busy.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you do outside of work these days, Wayne?
Nothing much, actually.
Nothing much?
Just do a lot of gardening. I tried to play. I played golf a while, but my back's sort of not like it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
I still like to play golf, but the body's telling me no.
Yeah. You've got a couple of grandkids?
Couple of grandkids.
Mm-hmm.
Leo, that's 4, and Mackenzie's 2.
Yeah. Lovely.
Wife and I mine one on a Monday and a Wednesday.
Nice. Yeah.
They just keep you busy,
Yeah.
as you know.
I certainly do. And keep you young.
Keep you young, keep you fit.
Yeah. On your toes. Well, it's been fantastic to catch up with you.
Been great.
Love the conversation, and you too, Brett. You seem to have a fantastic relationship, and to have played with your father, particularly an exceptional player and one of the greats of the club, must have been fantastic. Thank you very much for your time. I know you fit both of these into work commitments, so
It's my RDO today.
is it? Okay. All right. Thanks again.
Thanks, Luke.
Thanks,
Good on you, mate.
Good on you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Is there anything else you want to say? Missed?
No.
Yeah, I could tell a couple of stories, just quick stories. At Preston, when we played at home, when I was in the twos, I used to have a big bath in the change room.
Yes. Yeah.
At afternoon tea time, we'd put a can of VB in as a plug and start filling up.
Right.
So once 6 o'clock come, we'd walk off the ground,
It was ready.
it was ready. The bath, which would fit about 6 guys in,
Yeah.
pretty snug.
Right.
But I also remember we had an overseas player come and play at Preston. Jerry Lloyds
Yes.
From Gloucestershire.
Went on to play.
went on to umpire Test cricket.
Yes. Yeah.
I always remember him coming down the club when we turned up. We had the practice wickets on the ground. We'd have to pull the fences over the fence, line it up, bat and bowl. We wouldn't stretch, we wouldn't do anything. We'd just go to the ball, put the pads on. Jerry Lloyds turned up. For an hour before he trained, he'd do fitness work.
Right.
What's wrong with this pond? Then he'd go and have his bat, and then after he had his bat and his fielding and all that, he'd go and do some more work. And by this stage, we're inside having a drink.
Yeah.
But you could really see the difference in
Between a professional.
professional and just us guys who were playing cricket.
Mm.
But times have changed because now you have to stretch. Where years ago we wouldn't stretch before we trained, we just pick up the ball, pick up a bat, and away we go.
We were pretty resilient, or silly.
Yeah.
Tell me, we lost one of our former players, Neil Hamilton, during the week.
Spider.
Spider. You would have played with Spider.
Played with Spider, he was armed and legs everywhere.
He was.
Quite a good bowler actually.
Yes.
Left armour,
Yeah. Swung the ball.
swung the ball, very late.
Yes. Yeah.
Great bowler.
He didn't have success, which he sort of promised in the twos. Was that because he got nervous, or was...
He was a funny guy, really. He sort of stayed within his shell,
Yeah.
wouldn't sort of, hated hurting people.
He was a happy guy,
He
wasn't
was
he?
a happy-go-lucky.
Yes. Yeah.
Come on, Spider, bowl one short.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to hurt him. Because Spider could bowl quite quick.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
He just didn't want to pitch short.
Yeah. Yeah. Very sad to hear the news of Spider's passing, because hell of a nice guy. Was the subject of a lot of fun. People used to take
Take the mickey out.
the mickey out of him, but he was a good player and an honest bloke. Yeah,
Great clubman.
yeah, good clubman.
One of those, really.
And also the late Sean Harrison.
Yes,
Good old H.
yes,
When I captained the force, H had come and play, and he was just, as we know, H wasn't over that good with cricket. He took it up late, but what he gave you was his heart. Like, I'll give me the ball, I'll bowl, but I can only bowl 5 overs. So then I'm knackered. Well, just give me good 5 overs. H was great. Great clubman. Unbelievable. Would do anything for you. Sadly missed Wilson.
yes.
That's his greatest legacy. And having Dad went to the funeral, and I was lucky enough to go to the wake. To see the amount of people that I hadn't seen in years that had come through Preston to come back and celebrate that man's life.
Yep,
As Dad said, there's nothing he wouldn't do for you. There's nothing he wouldn't do for the club.
yep.
And he'd celebrate your performances. He'd celebrate the wins, and those people are so rare.
Great
And
news.
he's left a massive hole in the club, and it was just devastating news. Gavin Kretzer actually told me, it was on a Saturday, I think. And I was driving at the time, and I remember pulling up to the driveway at home, and I just sat in the car for 10 minutes. It's just
Horrible.
Oh, because I mean, I'd only spoken to him maybe 3 or 4 months earlier, because he'd always send me a message or something asking if we could fill in because they were short. You know, and here's this man cut down in his prime. Like.
Terrible. And the third one we lost was Johnny Hodges.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? Oh. Same day as Sean.
Same day as Sean.
He's been unwell for...
I heard he was not well.
Yeah. Yeah. That was very sad. You would have played a lot of baseball with John.
Same era.
Yeah, same era.
Great shortstop he was.
Yes.
Unbelievable player. Played for Australia.
Yep.
Claxton Shield. Unbelievable. Great bloke.
Yeah. Very quiet, unassuming.
Unassuming, wouldn't
Yeah.
boast about his... He was just a good player.
Yeah.